Why do you
We're
always have to
live!
buy bad
Don't
things? Like, why
touch
can't
it.
you buy nice
Don't
things?
touch
These
it
are
down
all, like, I
there.
can't even hear
You
out of
know
my
I get
ears.
excited.
Mom and
Dads
Dad
are
are
arguing.
arguing.
Yeah. It's usually the dads are arguing.
Don't touch it. I
You
can't.
can't buy a good one.
No, it was a free
Oh.
thing dongle that was given to me at a Hulu party.
I can't even
Out
hear
of
this ear now.
context
Whatever.
would
I
be
keep
Alright,
forgetting
go
that
live.
whenever
Hi.
PJ comes
We're
into
ready to
frame,
go
I
live.
have
We're
to
ready to go.
Are we live?
adjust the
Oh, we're live.
Oh, we're
no.
already live. But I had to adjust your frame when I came
You're just
because
gonna have
PJ
to-
came in, stepped into the frame, and I realized, oh yeah, he's very tall.
Oh no.
Is
Did you
PJ
guys
very
hear all
tall
that?
or is Drew short?
That's not
Life
good.
questions.
I really liked the dongle bit. That was great.
Drew shortened his legs to make his penis longer.
He touched my dongle.
Right, yeah, that's
Oh
fair.
no.
And see you later.
he
Bye
did-
everybody.
Oh, wow, cancel.
What are we doing here today? We are actually here today, and we have you guys know PJ. He's standing next to me, sometimes sitting. He's actually sitting. That's how tall he is. Then we have Pagan, who actually has a new show called Cracked on our channel. Go check it out. It's actually really dope. I'm excited about it. And
Thank you.
Stephanie, who's our CouchSoup, Red Bear Awesomeness editor extraordinaire. And we have a new guest. Our guest today is our CouchSoup community expert for House of the Dragon. She's gonna give us all the fucking goodies that we don't know anything. Like I am Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Like that's
Same
me
here.
right now.
I partied with Jon Snow once.
I did
came
too,
from-
Oh,
actually.
you
Did
were
you?
there.
I was there.
Remember, he was drunk
Oh,
and passed. He was
so
so drunk.
He was stoned out of his
Yeah,
mind.
he was just
I was
like,
too.
yeah.
So
Where was that? It was a nice little
that was
VIP
at
thing
the
somewhere.
the Nerd HQ party.
Yeah, it was pretty
Oh,
good.
nice.
Good.
And we were fanboying a little bit.
Right.
A little bit. A
Totally.
little bit.
Yeah.
And the other guy there was there too.
Yeah, the other guy
mean
who just got killed.
Yeah, that.
Robert. Or no, it was not Robert Breath. No,
Which
the at the
which
red
is the
wedding.
med-
Who was the brother that got killed at the red wedding?
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, right,
Rob.
yeah.
Rob Stark.
Rob Stark.
He
yeah.
wasn't mean. He got killed. That was a
I had
Yeah,
dinner
yeah.
once
It-
with Aiden.
Oh no.
You did?
Aiden Gillen, yeah, who
Who's
plays
Aiden?
Littlefinger.
Oh, Aiden Gillian. Oh, he's awesome.
Nice.
I would like to have dinner with him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, he seems like
You
a-
splashed
I
too
saw a
much
meme
on your
one time that said that he did his part so well that
What'd you say, Liz?
I think we lost Liz.
I saw a meme one time that said he played his part so well that everybody knows for a fact they can't trust him in real life because his performance as Littlefinger was so great.
So totally. I would never trust that guy with like $5. I'd be like, I'm never getting it back. Come on.
I feel like I met a lot of little fingers in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
That's actually a euphemism for butthole play.
Yeah, good shout.
So House of
Oh,
the
God.
Dragon, for what if you guys don't know, begins roughly 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones.
Which you have a problem with.
Well, I'll get into that. Yeah, and it tells the story of House Targaryen, and the only famous Targaryen we know is Daenerys Targaryen, who famously went crazy and burned down everything. Who saw that coming? That was awesome! Yay! That was so good. in
Who
season-
did see
Emily
that
Clark's
coming?
not in this?
Emily Clark is not in this. No, this
Well, I'm
is
not
200 years
watching this
before
then.
Emily Clark would have been born.
I thought they were older, like they were
We're
like
not-
they're
not
not like
Emily
elves
Clark.
that live forever, right?
No. I mean, maybe. I mean, that'd be cool. They need elves in this.
So was this a book or are they just going off script here?
Liz, go.
Liz, this
Liz,
is your time to
is
shine.
this based on a
See your
book or are they
screens right
going
now,
off
but
script
it is
here?
a book.
Oh,
It
she
is a
can't
book.
see it, Okay.
Yes.
Have you
it
read
is
the
based
books,
on
Liz?
A book, so it's Fire and Blood. Yes, I read the whole thing in preparation for the show coming out.
Wow.
So it's Fire and Blood. I actually have it on my shelf back there.
Nice.
So it's based off. It's written like a history. So like if you were to read a textbook of what happened, it's the history of the events of the Dance of the Dragons and everything before it and after it. So they're going to be taking some creative liberties and filling in the pieces in between all the major story beats that are recorded in Fire and Blood because Martin wrote it like he was a maester or like he was
Oh.
describing the history that was happening.
I see. Yes. Before PJ asks a question, can I ask a question, Liz?
Yes,
Has Martin been involved in the writing like he was in Game of Thrones? Okay. Sorry, PJ. Did you
Yes,
have a
so I do not know if he was involved in the writing, but
question? Oh, sorry.
I think there's a lag.
I think there is a lag. PJ has a question.
I think so too. Okay, go ahead.
So on the book, the cover, it says 300 years before Game of Thrones, but Drew said the show's 200 years. Can you please describe the discrepancy?
Of
What
course.
are we in? What are we in? Class?
Excuse me, can you account
So
for the
the
discrepancy,
book
please?
actually starts with. I can. So the book actually starts with Aegon the Conqueror's conquest, and he comes over 300 years before Game of Thrones. But Rhaenyra and Alicent and Viserys happened 200 years before Game of Thrones. So the show starts 100 years after Aegon came over and conquered Westeros, but 200 years before Game of Thrones.
Can you imagine writing a book
No.
and people actually care this much about it?
I can't even write, so yeah.
I mean, it ain't going to make your mortgage payment. But
It's
that's what
not.
life is
I can't
about,
read,
Drew.
so,
Stories.
Stories.
That's why we love
True.
CouchSoup so much, right?
Yeah.
Stories.
True.
We love stories.
We
I
do.
love stories. Somebody tell me a story. Drew, tell me a story.
There once was a trailer that we're gonna watch on Trailer Talk
About dragons.
about dragons.
All right, let's go. Bring her up. Oh, wait.
All right,
Oh, we're going to watch it
dragons?
up there.
Yeah.
We're big time now. We're
I
watching
know.
on the big
Look at
screen.
this, the pro setup. All right, I'm gonna press
Let
play
it
in
roll.
3, 2,
Oh, no, we're not ready. Oh, yeah.
oh,
Wait,
okay,
wait,
hold
wait.
on, hold on,
wait.
hold on.
Now go.
Okay, go.
3, 2, 1, play.
Pellman hit. Always.
Oh, it's
Hobo.
nice. Oh, it's nice.
There it
Oh,
is.
look, it's the Throne of Swords.
It looks
I'm
different.
so excited.
I heard the sound of thumbing moves. Splintering shields
I don't
and
like that
glinting
lady.
swords. And I placed my hand upon the Iron Throne,
It's nice.
and all the dragons.
Those nails are
roared
awfully
one.
clean.
We love a good manicure.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
The Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm, and our line is vulnerable, too easily ended.
Who else would have a claim? The firstborn child, Rhaenyra. No queen.
The armor was
sat
sick.
behind throne.
Yeah.
The king has
Rhaenyra's cool looking.
Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my
Yes.
daughter.
Doctor.
I like him.
I didn't know he was in this, did I?
The music's good.
Heard it before.
Rhaenyra's succession will be challenged. Knives will come out.
You are the king. Your first duty is to take a new wife.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir.
Uh-oh.
Good shot.
He's afoot.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
The lords of the realm bend the knee.
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne.
Good shot.
Because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
Have her older.
This feels so
Soon.
familiar, you know? I feel like I've watched before. It's just all Game of Thrones-y tropes.
Get bacon, eh?
Oh. Dragons.
Targaryens are close to gods and
Whoa,
to
who's
men.
that?
That looked good.
If Rhaenyra comes into power,
Yes.
She can cut off any challenge to her succession.
It's a little bright for me. Is it because it's...
I am to inherit the Iron Throne.
No.
She
That's a
will
big
block
dragon.
my way.
Our hearts remain as one.
That was
Our
good.
hearts were never one. You never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne. Where is duty? Where is sacrifice?
Ooh, big red dragon.
See you as you are.
We love the dragons. Man, I freaking love the dragons in this, man.
I am absolutely, definitely going to watch this. But,
Ooh, but there's a but.
little but,
Okay.
But-
Cool.
hear me out here.
Okay.
When you think about the first one with the where the Emily Clark character, like she was going to be burnt down, and then she came out with the eggs. They were just like, with all that wonderment gone about them. Does that
About the dragons?
About the
the
dragons?
dragons and the Targaryens, and because you during Game of Thrones you kind of learned about them as it
Right,
went on.
right.
Now we're kind of just immersed in their world, and I saw a couple cool shots, but I didn't see anything that was like, oh, what was that? Except the guy with the mask.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean? Like, it was a
Yeah.
little too bright for me, but still gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, as a trailer though, it it's a good trailer. So that was the Comic-Con extended trailer. If it felt long to you as normal trailers do, that was like a 3-minute trailer.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
very
it was a
long
long
trailer.
trailer.
It was the extended Comic-Con release,
It's
wasn't it?
extended,
Yeah. So
It was a little too long for me.
It had a few
well,
extra scenes in the other one.
absolutely. Yeah, and so most trailers like 2.5 minutes is max. This was made for fans of the show, right? Like it's like giving you more of the goodies that you want to see, more dragons, more Matt Smith being badass with a sword, which is really only reason I'm probably
Sure.
gonna watch this. Also, I want the Doctor Who crossover episode whenever that happens. I know that's probably everyone's like, duh. But this trailer, it's a decent trailer. It sets up a lot of intrigue. What I like about it, it just feels Game of Thrones, right? You got the politics, like on one side, you're like boom, 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 politics. Everybody wants the throne, and then you got dragons and some stuff over here, and like battles and sword fighting, which is all the cool stuff that we kind of drew us in. What's missing from me is the element of the White Walker, right? For me, what made Game of Thrones so compelling was this entity out there that you knew was more evil than even the politics and the people that were
The White Walkers or the dragons?
The White Walkers.
Yeah, sorry, I was ignoring you earlier.
I
but
know,
we're
yeah.
good.
And so, like, I'm wondering, like, to me, this feels more like Game of Thrones light. Like it's sort of like it's all the Game of Thrones, but without the cool mysticism of like White Walkers and magic and like, the light, the light god and whatever. But like I'm not seeing enough magic and like, because that's what I want when I'm back in this world. Other than the dragons, obviously they're very magical-ish, but they feel so real.
Can I make a confession?
No.
Oh.
They feel so real that it almost doesn't feel magical, right? It just feels like it's part of that world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's kind of my only complaint, and that's where I'll end it. I'm still gonna watch the hell out of this, and now
Interesting.
PJ's gonna confess to me something.
I never liked the White Walkers. When
What?
that part came on, I was like, ugh.
Best part.
Oh, interesting.
What?
I never liked them. They were just like zombies. Like there was nothing interesting about them, and it was just death. And I mean, the battle at the end there was good, where the one dragon became a White Walker dragon. That part was good.
The episode.
But in general, I was like, oh, get back to the story, please.
I'm sorry. The episode where Jon Snow first kills one with a sword, and he learned that where they get overrun in that town. That is like one of the best episodes of television ever. Yeah. And because the way they set
they
that
find
up,
out that the Valyrian steel can kill
that the
them.
Valyrian steel, and the way they set that up was just genius.
Yeah, that was good.
And then you finally figure out it's the pieces in your brain start to come together. And when you watch a show where they set something up so well, and then all these interlocking things, and you're like, oh my god, well, this the Valyrian steel, and that guy has a sword with the Valyrian steel, and this guy is a blah blah blah, and where the White Walkers just came from, and the Jon Snow is the king, and you're like, oh my god, it just you start to go gaga goo goo over stuff like that. So the storytelling, and I hope that this show can deliver on that, and maybe it will, maybe it won't. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Who wants to go first? Steph?
No.
Yes.
Steph's like, don't ask me, don't pick me, don't pick me.
I picked you. I gotta go now.
I'll go
There's a
last.
little bit of a delay.
Okay.
Sorry, folks.
Oh no, it's okay. I mean, I'm totally blind in all this. I'm definitely Jon Snow. I know. I'm taking. I know nothing. I think I've seen
Part
part
of
of
the
the
reference. That's good. That's good enough.
first season. So I understand. I've seen clips, but I can't say I've really watched it. So
You
going
didn't
into
watch Game
this,
of Thrones?
watching the trailer. I didn't have HBO, and then
You're fired. You're fired.
You're the only one.
You're fired.
Okay,
Wow.
well,
Can't come to my house anymore. No more come to my house. Anymore.
Oh, slowly
Oh,
fades
this
to
is
the background.
upsetting. No. It's Stephanie. She's amazing.
You have homework.
Forgive her this one
job.
flaw.
I do. Okay. I don't know. I
love
didn't.
that show.
I didn't really like the trailer though. I
Is it
felt
'cause it
a
was
little
too
sleepy,
long?
but- Because I think. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. It was just too much stuff, so it just kind of felt like in the
There's a lot
center of
of
the trailer. It's like,
information,
okay,
yeah.
I'm ready for it to be done, trailer-wise, because I felt like it really gave away a lot of little tastes. But I mean, actually, it is interesting in some parts. I do agree, PJ. I think it is a little bright.
I don't think she's gonna watch it.
and
It's on top of
They're probably
There's just
trying
a
to make
lot,
up
I
for
guess, for
season
me,
8.
a lot that I don't know, maybe. I I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Uh-oh. I know.
I feel like they're discussing how to fire you, Steph.
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
So,
No.
okay.
No,
Like,
one of those things.
There's
Like
no other way
if you
around
want to
it.
be in the club, you got to watch
Yeah,
it.
it's a club thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club.
It's like Star Wars.
See you in 2 years.
For whatever it's worth, I don't
It might take you that long.
You
to
could
finish
binge it.
all the
doing a
seasons.
fish show.
Yeah.
No, you have until what, September, or when does this come out? Like
August
September-
21st.
August 21st?
This
Yeah,
comes
that's
out
like
August
soon.
21st.
No.
Wow, that
Yeah,
is
you have like
soon.
2 weeks to watch
Okay.
eight seasons of Game of
How
Thrones.
much work do we need to get done?
None.
Yeah, that's right, Steph. You clap back. Yes, girl.
We're a little
Yes,
busy
please.
lately.
Put it
Red
on
Bear's
while you work.
hiring.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right. Well, I think I know where Liz stands.
Not hard.
But like, give us your thoughts on like the trailer, like general thoughts on like where on the level of excitement for you. Where does this land us?
Like 1,010. Okay. But on a serious note,
Whoa.
I am very, very excited for this show. I do.
Do you
see
know
what
how
you're
to
saying
edit? We
about
might have
how
an
with
opening.
Dragons. I do know how to edit. Actually, that's part of my day job. I do video editing as part of my day job.
Wow.
So
Stephanie, I will protect you.
I am so excited.
The answer was no.
No, Stephanie has to stay. Stephanie has to stay. The answer was no. I'm sorry, we're totally over my head. No, she must stay. She'll be in the club. She'll
the
watch Game
answer
of
was
Thrones
no, right?
in like 2 weeks, and she'll be up to date, and then she has to stay.
There it is.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited, and I do see what you're saying about how the dragons are, since they seem more realistic, some of the magic is gone. But I think that that's part of what makes this show so interesting, is that they're not relying on the magical sense of the dragons. It's really more character focused. Like the dragons are mechanisms that the characters can use to achieve their aims, but it's really more about like the badass shit that the characters are going to be doing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I liked the magic. There
I'm
wasn't a
hyped.
lot of it. I mean, I
Yeah,
liked it
that's-
was sprinkled in.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. It started to get a little bit more in the later seasons, but the first seasons were pretty grounded, and
Yeah.
I liked how it.
Like
sort
when
of
they went out to the
changed
wall, and then the Red
Yeah.
Witch or whatever. Red
Right,
Witch.
yeah,
Red
yeah.
Witch was the Red Witch. Was
I
that her
think
name?
so, something like
She brought the magic element to it.
Red
I didn't
Lady.
like her. Did you like her?
that. I did.
I didn't
Oh,
like her.
Melisandre.
The old lady.
She was a nice lady. I didn't like her. She was
Well,
not nice.
She had. I mean, she was like the Terminator. She had like a goal,
Yeah.
and she was like, "I'm gonna do it no matter what." You know. It was
Didn't
kinda
they
like,
burn a kid at the
I
stake?
respect- Yeah, I mean, what's a couple kids?
Absolutely.
Classic.
What's a couple
save the
kids?
world.
Just
That was the thing. It was
Jesus.
very sad.
Listen,
That
if you
was
look at the
a
life
sad
expectancy,
episode.
were they
Back
really
then,
kids?
back
Horrible
then,
episode.
Yeah, I mean, Pagan, what did you
Those are
think
the
of the
questions.
episode?
But probably still yes.
I probably won't watch this.
What?
I'm sorry. I probably won't watch this.
God, I
I
could fire 2 people.
was not. I have
Is
seen.
that because you don't like the English?
No, I've seen. Well, no, I just don't like Maria. That's different. Just because she's a chap.
Oh, you're not gonna watch this?
No, well, the thing is,
Totally
like,
thought this would be your jam.
I've seen all of Game of Thrones, and I wasn't obsessed. The only thing is, like, the only way I can describe it is I don't think the writing was bad. I think there were parts of the writing that just made me uncomfortable, and I don't particularly like that in what I'm watching, right? So that's just not my preference. So I don't like the gratuitous nudity in the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then they're like, oh, we should probably turn that down. And then, and then this House of the Dragon also seems like they have been in trouble for gratuitous nudity as well recently. So that's been like
This is a boys' show. Stop talking.
yeah. Centered by a woman. So I don't know. I think, I think it looks interesting. I think the Targaryens are probably the most interesting of the house lines that I think should have gotten a spin-off, and they did. So I think this is fine. I do agree with Drew though. The fact that there weren't any White Walkers in this, like, or just any element, because what made that cool in Game of Thrones was like there's a unified like evil, right? Like there's an evil against anybody, no discrimination. It's gonna kill everybody. And then there was all this like mini politics, and then a group of people who were like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. We are all about to die in the zombie apocalypse, friends.
Right.
There is greater things out there." So that is
Time to
missing in this, I
unify,
think,
yeah.
as well. Like I would agree with Drew, and I
What
love
was
the
your
dragon.
What was your least
I feel like they
favorite
could
house?
be-
What was your least favorite
Well,
house?
before you answer that, and I just want to piggyback on what Pagan said, is like, and what I liked about it is it felt like an allegory to the modern times, right? Like the White Walkers are sort of like global warming, right? And we're over here bickering about like dumb shit. You know, when this thing is going to come and just murder us all. And we
Welcome
can't-
to America.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was sort of like, it felt relevant to what's going on. And it made, you know, today. You know, obviously, man, I'm partial to the Starks. I love the dire wolves. I love the
Yeah,
I didn't
Starks-
like the ones, the rocks, the ship people.
Oh,
That one. They were, and then I wasn't a fan of the wildlings. I'm sorry.
yeah, they were kind of.
Those are kind of like when the
Other
stories
than
weren't there.
what's the big guy with the red beard?
He was fun.
He was fun.
Yeah.
But I like the Starks. They just felt like they had value, right? Like seemed like the only house that felt like they had like a compass of like what's good and what's bad. You know, everyone else seemed to just be like, we'll murder for whatever reason to elevate our house. You know, like it just felt. they felt
Winteros
like
was
they-
a little run down though, wasn't it? It was a little on the
Westeros?
shabby side.
Winterfell?
Westeros.
Oh,
Winter.
Oh,
Where-
Winterfell.
Winterfell.
Yeah,
Winterfell.
yeah,
Westeros
Westeros.
is a whole other thing.
I mean, it's like it would be like living in like northern Canada, which you understand. It's like, you know, it's like polar bears and hockey pucks is like
Yeah.
what you survive on up there.
we don't have that much mud though.
That's true.
Yeah.
but this like the trailer was good. I found like look, it is an extended trailer, and
Oh,
you
don't
get a
pull
lot
back now.
about this. No, I think this trailer is good, and I'm not saying Game of Thrones isn't good. I have a preference. Oh, bye. Did they turn off your webcam? Because if they didn't, and if it's just a connection issue,
replace
that's
the
some
battery?
timing.
Did it? No.
Oh yeah, that's what that means.
I love the audio.
PJ forgot to replace the battery in the camera.
Oh my god, that's so funny. the fucking
and I
timing of
think
that
this
is so
great.
hilarious.
Oh, go ahead.
Also, we just left.
Yeah, I thought so. You know, I was like, I don't know. No, but the trailer I thought was good. It was extended. It shows a little bit much. Like I said, like the Targaryens in terms of like, I think they deserve a
Some
spin-off.
fan service, yeah.
Like, I just wasn't a massive fan of Game of Thrones, and I feel like there are people who are like that. People can be non-fans of something, friends, and they could watch the whole thing. Yeah, I just don't. I think I just have a preference. This looks very Game of
Yeah.
Thronesy. It looks like a lot of manipulation, probably a lot of sex, probably a lot of politics, and a lot of characters that I have to try and follow. And sometimes my attention span is like, ooh, shiny, so I don't really pay attention to all of the characters, and that messes me up. So
Yeah. I mean,
I'm getting a
wondering.
little confused too.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
sorry.
it is, and we're gonna in this next section we'll start to break, and we'll unleash Liz, and she's gonna tell us exactly what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
because I'm like you guys too. It's sort of I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know what's going on with that guy. Who's that guy? He looks cool. Oh, cool dragons. Like, but I don't know. I'm not a big enough fan to where like I've read the books and I understand all of the like the family trees and like how all this ties in, right?
Yeah.
It's like for me, like I get it, right? Like if I was watching a Star Wars prequel, I'd be like, oh, I get it. Oh, that guy's doing that thing, and he's the son of that person, and that guy's gonna end up becoming this thing. Like for me, that's like my world and my fandom. So I understand like that would for me, I would be like, oh, here's how I'm gonna explain it all. But that's why we brought Liz on to kind of like help us understand what the hell is going on in this trailer. Who are these people? Why should we care? Because I mean, I'm like a lot of other people probably on the camp of this. Do we need this show? The season 8 ended and it kind of felt like a whimper for me. Like it was like wah wah.
I want to slap you.
And
Season 8 was.
is it too soon? Is I guess my first question is this show too soon after what season 8 kind of did to a lot of people, which I felt like was disappointment.
That's fair.
I'm just gonna pose that. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Like, do you think this show, before we get into the spoilers, are you guys feeling any of that fatigue? Like, are you guys Game of Thrones fatigue at all, PJ?
Not at all.
Okay, there we go. That's a solid answer.
I'm
I know
totally
Liz is-
biased.
I don't have
so
fatigue, but
I don't think so
definitely
at all.
not.
It's like I think they left you wanting more. I mean, there was issues with the last episode, but I think that I need more Game of Thrones.
Okay, all right.
I need more Game of Thrones than I need more Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
It's how we feel about Stranger Things stuff.
Wow.
Yes. That's
All right. Well, Liz,
Yeah.
break it down. Like, what's going on in this trailer? Can you give us kind of a quick synopsis of what are we seeing right now? Obviously, there's 200 years. There's Targaryens. It seems like a rehash of what we heard from Daenerys. Like, I'm gonna break the wheel kind of thing. Like, you know, there looks like to be
Definitely.
a daughter of the king who is trying to. This is my. I'm just gonna put.
Are you
forth
going to
my-
let her talk?
No, I'm just gonna put forth my synopsis, and you tell me if I'm like right or wrong. Like it looks like there's the daughter, one of the Targaryens is the daughter of the king, and she's vying for the throne as well as looks like her brother, who's also in line for the throne. And looks like is there a battle of Targaryens that's going on here? Is that kind of what we're seeing?
No, you just explained it all. So
You're mostly right.
Okay.
You're mostly right. So basically, like the mini synopsis before I get more detailed is the fact that it's a civil war for secession. So what happens is Viserys, who's the guy who's like, I had a dream, it was clearer than a vision. I placed my heir on the Iron Throne. So he had a firstborn daughter with his first wife. First wife, dies.
Oh.
And then he has a firstborn son with his second wife. And all the laws of the land say it should go to his firstborn son. However, he names his daughter his heir. Like his first daughter, he names her heir over his son. So he has everybody swear fealty to her, and then all of a sudden, can I get super spoily? Like, can I just dive in?
I don't know. Are we getting too spoily?
I mean, here's the deal. Like, I think it's in the books. It's not like
It's not like it's
the
not
books
there.
can. It's not exactly. It's not like you can go to
Right.
Wikipedia and read this, right? So I say fair warning. We're about to get into some spoilers. But here's the deal. Like Game of Thrones was different from
Book
the books.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Game of
book
Thrones was
spoilers.
different from what the books did. They may deviate too.
book
So what
spoilers,
we're
that's the way to
saying
put it.
may not be what happens on the show, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yes,
go ahead.
big disclaimer there.
Yeah.
So click away now if you
I'm
don't want to
diving
see
in.
any spoilers.
Okay, yes. Fair warning. Okay, so book spoilers, big disclaimer, based on what I've read in Fire and Blood, what happens is Viserys dies without what, and Rhaenyra is named his heir at his time of death, but all the laws and preceding situations always give it to the male heir. So they have this war for succession amongst the Targaryen family, which obviously, as you know, is going to be this brutal power struggle. Because both sides have dragons, and one side has more dragons, and the other side has bigger dragons.
So it's more
And
nukes
it's
versus
just
other
vicious
nukes.
all the way through. So, but you're definitely going to get Dany vibes from Rhaenyra. And fun fact, Rhaenyra is actually, I mean, yes, because she's part of House Targaryen, but she's a fairly direct descendant to Dany. So
Oh.
Yeah.
she's kind of like paving the way.
Yeah,
For the
It
queendom,
definitely seems like that.
I
Like
guess.
almost even her demeanor feels very Daenerys Targaryen. Like even the way she, you know what I'm saying? Like she feels like she has like a.
She reminds me of that other cold little kid, though. Remember the one, the younger one at the end, and she was just like cold, ruthless, and very.
Yeah.
Remember, she was from the
Lyanna
Rock
Mormont.
and the what? Who?
Is it Lyanna Mormont, the
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
yeah,
younger girl with
Yeah.
the dark
Oh,
hair?
right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
leader.
She was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good. When
Yeah,
she
she
was
got,
cold.
she got cast.
Can you
she was-
imagine that
She
kid?
was-
It's your
She's,
kid,
she's
and you
Ellie
go
in The
take
Last
the
of Us Part
garbage
Two.
out, and you're like, she's like, no, I don't want to. Okay, cool.
That's what I was
sure.
going to say.
Or Last of Us Part, HBO series.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, she's casting Last of Us.
Yeah, the HBO.
Yes,
So we
and
can-
so is Pedro, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we can expect a lot of dragon fighting dragon, and a lot of like Westeros is sort of like caught in the middle here. Is that sort of
Dragon
like
on dragon porn.
dragon on dragon, baby? Let's do it. And then the
So-
like is what? So how does the is like the Starks are there? Is their family like who else can we expect to see? Like from family wise, like descendants of like people that we've known in the show, the Game of Thrones.
Okay, so that is a very good question. Okay, so you're gonna actually have some houses that you haven't seen in Game of Thrones yet. So House Valerian is I think they're a vassal house of House Targaryen, but so they're from Valyrian blood too. So
Is that
you've
where
got
the-
House
Is that where
Valerian,
the
which is
Is that where the
Corlys, and you see
steel-
him with the axe.
So is Valyrian
Yes.
steel
mhm.
come from
yes,
that?
Valyrian steel is from Valyria.
That's cool.
Now you gotta
Yes,
find that one out.
So
That's cool.
the
wait.
Targaryens and Valerians and dragons and steel.
So wait, is it where does so in Game of Thrones there was a place where they go where everything's like turned to stone, and there's like that weird like stone disease or whatever that one guy gets. Is that Valeria? Didn't that get cursed or something? Is that place, or am I mixing things up?
Jorah.
No, I think you
Yeah,
have it
true.
right. If I remember correctly, I think that is their adaptation of Valyria in the show.
Yeah.
And yes, so the Targaryens actually fled something called the Doom of Valyria, which is how they end up on Dragonstone, and that's how Aegon comes to Westeros. So yes, I think there was a huge volcanic eruption that they managed to escape. So
Yeah.
yes, Valyria is doomed, and that's why they send all the stonemen there. I think they're suffering from grayscale, etc., and it's just a land of extreme mystery.
So,
I might read the book.
Yeah. So
Is that maybe
will
what we can see in the
Valeria-
trailer, like from the guy in the mask?
Oh Yeah.
Okay, so there's a theory that that's a someone that Daemon's fighting in his war for the Stepstones. So I don't know why he's wearing a mask, but I do know.
I froze, obviously.
Do actually video edit for my day.
And we're back.
Oh god, and
Sorry,
it
guys.
messed up the whole screen. Lovely. All right, you guys keep talking, and I'll fix it.
Oh really? Well, oh yeah,
It's
because
okay.
you've come in a different
Browser, yeah.
yeah.
All good.
I like being narrow. We have to get real close though.
You have to get real close,
Real tight.
guys. That's
Yes.
that's it. Let's just get some of that moment in there.
What is that in your pants? Is that a phone?
He's just super happy to see you.
It's vibrating.
Yeah.
Super happy to see you. Sorry,
I don't even know where
Elizabeth.
we
I think
left
we
off.
cut you off actually with I don't even know where we were now. You were talking about the spoilers about
No, you're fine.
Valeria.
You were talking about the civil war that was happening.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
so,
Between
so do you
Right,
think
right.
Valeria?
So,
So real quick, do you think we'll see like Valeria in its prime before it's kind of been destroyed, probably by dragons?
I don't think it's going that far back. From what I understand, we probably will not see Valyria unless I hear that Viserys has like a model Valyria on his table, but I haven't confirmed that yet. But as far as like actually being in old Valyria before the doom of Valyria, I don't think we're seeing that. There's a teeny tiny chance that we might see them fly near it with maybe Daemon and Laena, I think. They might fly near it, but I don't think we're gonna like see it, if that kind of makes sense. But I did want to go back and correct something I said earlier, because I think I said that Martin is involved in the writing, and I don't know like how much he's involved, but I do know that he does have some sort of creative input and a little bit of creative control in it this time around.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah,
Oh,
because I
that's
know that he
interesting.
was like not involved in the writing really, like in Game of Thrones, but he was definitely a point of call. And then when they were taking liberties with like the story in the book, he was like, absolutely, let's do this, let's do that. Like he was definitely an active part of the creative process, right, in Game of Thrones. So yeah,
Agreed.
it's good to
Yeah.
see
Anybody
them.
get a sense of the
I know,
budget?
he's
We know what they're spending.
I couldn't hear you.
Let's
I'm
see.
sorry.
He
The
was asking
budget.
about budget. I don't. He'll look it up though. Tell us
Oh,
about.
I
so
have
who-
no idea about what the budget
20
is, but I
million
know
per
that they're doing
episode.
CGI for.
Holy shit.
So less than
Stranger Things.
no, 20 million. I expected to be more than that. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, 20
But
million.
what was the budget
Well,
for Lord of the
you're
Rings?
not-
30?
No, it was
Not
60
the new Lord
Not
of the
gonna get a
60.
a lot of
Yeah, it was
60.
in an 8-episode
An
season.
episode.
Yeah.
the crazy shit until I later on in later see.
Did we lose it? What'd you say?
Probably
Would you
because they're
say
also
this?
using a lot of practical effects to like they built the Red Keep, so
True.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
they had the whole set and
20
everything.
million.
So they might be filming kind of on the ground a little more. All the money's going to dragons.
So
Yeah.
are we gonna see? Lannisters? They were obviously a big part of Game of Thrones. Is the Lannister family? Are we gonna see them sort of come into power? Because they recently came into power, right? Like that was sort of like a, like they kind of took over they had, if I remember right, there was like mines or something that they stumbled upon that were the keep that they got was full of like riches, and they kind of controlled the money basically now of Westeros.
Yes.
That's right.
So
They
you
were
are
the-
going
they
to see some
controlled the bank?
Lannisters.
Mm.
They had a lot of funds to kind of. I don't know a whole bunch of details exactly about what the Lannisters were doing at Game of Thrones point in time, but they did have a lot of funds because they definitely came into power, and Tywin had a lot to do with that. You are going to see some Lannisters. They do have some major roles throughout the series, and you're also going to see some Starks. We're all here for Cregan. I don't know if anybody else knows who he is, but he's not going to come until some later seasons, and I'm super
Cool.
hyped to see Cregan.
Oh, cool.
And I think the High Towers are going to kind of take the place of what the Lannisters were in Game of Thrones. So,
okay.
like Otto and Alicent. Alicent is the woman in green with the dark hair.
Oh,
She's-
okay.
Yeah, their family is kind of going to do what the Lannisters were doing with the constantly scheming and plotting and
Awesome.
trying to see how much power they can amass over time.
Yeah.
So they are going to probably kind of fill those shoes, I guess you could say.
That's cool. I love Rhys Ifans, who, if I'm saying his name right, that actor.
Rhys Ifans.
Who's playing Reese? Is it Reese?
Rhys.
Ifans, yeah.
I think it's Reese.
Plays Otto. And when I saw him in the trailer, I was like, oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Whenever. And then, are we going to see? Oh, wow! I'm seeing on IMDb our friend of the show, Graham McTavish,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sir-
you can see
Sir
him in the
Harrow?
trailer for a second.
Westerly.
Oh, you
I
can?
Really?
I didn't even.
I mean,
catch
he's a
that.
blur. It's kind of like what
Oh.
happened last time.
He-
when
yeah,
we
he's
watched
okay.
it.
So there's two really nice places where he shows up because when I first heard he was like Harold Westerling, I was like yes, because I'm like a huge Uncharted fan, and I also watch Outlander, and he's
Yeah.
in both of those. I don't know if you can see all my Uncharted
Yeah.
stuff. My friend actually,
Yes.
yeah, my friend actually bought all these goodies for me over the years, so I had to like display the epic collection they
yeah.
gave
They're
me.
very cool.
So when you see Damon kind of walk down with his hammer in one hand, he's walking down toward the throne. There's this scene where Graham McTavish's character like holds the sword against his chest, like "Come no
Oh,
farther, you will die."
Oh,
It's
that's
such
He's
a
got the helmet
badass
on.
moment.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure it's him.
Oh,
So
that's
he's
cool.
just
So
like-
like him.
you know they're gonna fight because that's basically like it's gonna go down. So him and Damon are gonna probably.
Damon.
Is he still
I don't
making the
know
show
if
we
they're
came
gonna
up with?
throw down, but there is definitely a threat because he's coming back from probably his war for the Stepstones, and he's thinking he's all big and bad, and he's like, yeah, and Graham McTavish's character's like, you thought? No. So yeah, so I like freaked out when I saw it.
That's cool. I'm trying to think like who else can we expect, or like what are some interesting things that we may not see from the trailer but you're kind of expecting to see in the show.
Okay. Oh, I have a list. I'm gonna condense it. Okay. I have a list. Okay, I'll condense it. First off, I think a fan favorite for the fan community is seeing Caraxes for the first time, which is the big red dragon you see where Damon's like holding the dragon's head.
Okay. Yeah.
So Caraxes is a huge fan's favorite, also known as the bloodworm. So that's why he's got or I do not know. I think he's got like the snake-like neck sort of. So they are going after the bloodworm terminology. So that's a super exciting moment. You also get to see Dragonstone with actual dragons because when Dany gets there are no dragons there except for hers.
course.
But Dragonstone is there's dragons all over the place. So there's that one, and then I don't know if anybody else in the chat is going to know, but we get to see Aemon Targaryen, who he and Daemon have a huge rivalry throughout the books. So he was in that training shot where the shield, he blocks the blow with his shield, etc. That's a really cool thing.
It looked like a very
And,
Witcher moment in that section, like when you're training in the keep. It just looks like a real Witcher moment.
If I was a dragon and my nickname was Worm, wouldn't that be a little insulting?
With a
They
Y.
understand.
With a Y.
With a Y.
Worm with
There's
a
no
Y.
Y in a worm.
Bloodworm.
So,
You ain't no
but
dragon, you just a worm.
It's like when I call my
Oh.
sausage. He doesn't know.
I feel like if someone tried to call Caraxes that, but it was like an O instead of a Y, I feel like he would show them why he was called the Bloodworm.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd make a strong point.
Yeah,
How
true.
many dragons do you think we'll see? I mean, is this like the Dragon Prime? Like this is like basically
Yes.
like the height of dragons, right?
Yes, this is the height of the Targaryen dynasty, or the height of their power in Westeros. The big shot where you see the dragon flying overhead across King's Landing with the big building in the distance, that's the dragon pit. So they actually tried to raise their dragons in captivity, which was a very bad idea.
Yeah.
Someone should have told them not to do that, but it was a very bad idea. But so yeah.
No, it was going so well. It was going so well. I don't even know actually if you can still see me and the rest of them are frozen. Probably. It was all going so well. Oh man. Computer says no is fucking right. Oh god. Yeah, so you guys can see me but you can't see them. And they're the opposite. They can't see me but they can see themselves. Fuck's sake. Okay. We'll be right back. we're live. Hi guys, sorry.
No worries. You were saying,
Where-
I think where we left off, you were giving us the lowdown on like the dragon, the oldest dragon in Westeros.
Yes. So my theory, and it's debated online as to which dragon it actually is, but my theory is that the dragon foot that we see and the big dragon that's kind of leaning down at the end, I think it's Vhagar, which is the oldest living dragon in Westeros at the time, as far as I know. And Vhagar actually came over with Aegon and his sisters during the conquest 100 years before this show starts. So it's super cool to see Vhagar because that dragon sort of turns the tides for which side has the most power at the time, because you can have a lot of dragons, but then you can have the biggest dragon.
Right.
So
right. Oh, that's interesting.
So then, are we going to see the extinction of dragons? Then is it this war that causes that?
this war is actually the beginning of the end for the Targaryen, I guess, legacy a little bit, because what happens is with all the fighting amongst themselves, we are going to see a lot of dragons. I forget the exact number. I want to say 17, I think.
Wow.
But by the time the war is done, there's not that many left. So we will see a lot of battle.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of war, and yeah.
So that's going to fuck me up, because I'm going to get attached to some dragons.
Right.
If I watch a show. And then they're just going to
Totally.
start killing them left, right, and center, and no one's safe in a Game of Thrones
No one is
fucking
safe
show,
in this show.
right?
Yeah.
There's no one
Yeah.
safe in a House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones. So I'm just going to
Exactly.
start watching it, be really attached, and then in the penultimate episode of the first fucking season, one of my favorite characters
Totally.
or a dragon will die, and then I'll be like, well, fuck this show, and then, FML.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Joke's on me, I guess. I shouldn't have watched it. So
Sean Bean isn't in this show, so I think he like he's safe for the.
I really hope he is somewhere,
safe
like a
this
small
time
cameo
around.
as an extra, and he
Is
gets
he?
smashed by a dragon. Just something.
Totally.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here, guy. Oh,
Oh shit.
Oh no.
no.
Yeah.
Well, do
Yeah,
you
they
think-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, do you think there's gonna be a lot of like tie-in to, I don't know, like teasing of the White Walkers or teasing of like the flame, the white, is it the what was the other god? The white the
The
flame
Night
god,
King.
or the
Roller?
night. Yeah, the Night King was the white. Well, we sort of got a backstory to the Walkers, right? And that happened like a long time ago, right? Like they built the wall. Like the wall will already exist
Long
in this
time
time,
ago.
right? Like
Yes.
that'll already be a thing, and like so the Night Watch will still be a thing, I'm assuming, because that's been going on for centuries. So
Yes.
that's all kind of going to be established. But do you think we're going to get any like sort of like prophecies or something that we're going to be listening to that's going to like bring us into like or tease us to like what happened in Game of Thrones, or do you think this is going to be kind of like its own story? Like they're going to kind of like you watch Game of Thrones, so you know what happens there, or how closely tied to Game of Thrones do you think this show will be?
I think it will be closely tied, but the theme is different. So I do think it'll be sort of self-contained. Like it is probably going to really focus and hone in on the Targaryen Civil War. And I don't have confirmation on this. It's just something I found during, like my research and things my family have been kind enough to send me. There's a theory that Aegon actually had a vision, or someone he knew actually had a vision, and he united Westeros to unite them all to prepare to fight against the Night King and the White Walkers, 300 years before Game of Thrones started.
Okay.
So there's been a teeny tiny hint / possibility that maybe he has passed that prophecy, dream, prediction on down his family line. And that could be part of what Viserys is talking about when he's looking at Rhaenyra. He's like, we are easily extinguished. And I think during the panel at Comic-Con, someone mentioned, or a Viserys' actor mentioned, that he's holding the secret inside of him that sort of relates to the fall of man. So there's a theory that maybe Aegon's goal was to unite them against the Night King, and that's why he conquered Westeros, etc., to make it all one kingdom. And that he's passed that goal on to his lineage, which would eventually culminate in Dany helping defeat the Night King.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny smidgen of a possibility, but for the most part, I think it's pretty self-contained. I don't think we're going to see a lot of the White Walkers or the
So
Wall.
they are around
It's
in
sort
this?
of going to stay.
Like they exist
Wall?
in this world? 300
As
years
far as
before?
I know, they probably would still exist because the Wall still exists and the
Right.
Night's Watch still exists. Because I remember Jaehaerys, who shows up in the trailer for a little bit. If I remember correctly, I think his wife goes to visit the Wall. If I remember my Ice and Fire lore properly, which I hope I do before I get butchered in the comment section. I think that his wife went to go see the wall. So yes, still exists. I think the wildlings still exist. Everything is still up there. I think the show is just kind of focusing on, the Southern Kingdoms.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Maybe.
Well, besides you started without me again. Is this Earth?
No.
Or is it another planet or alternate reality?
Well, it's definitely Earth. It's just like, imagine like if there was
an
Earth,
alternate reality.
Yeah, like a Westeros, like medieval Westeros.
But it is technically planet Earth.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they have water and earth and
gravity.
Well, it could have that in another planet.
Well, I mean,
True.
Sure.
I think.
Call it whatever.
But did anybody ever call it? Is this on Earth or is it on another planet?
I thought we lost Pagan again. I was like, oh, shit.
I think what's the new Space Jam where Warner Brothers is having like the intro with all of its different planets and stuff. I think Westeros is on a different planet in the Space Jam intro. I think.
No way, really?
If I have it properly. So
that's canon.
I think so.
Yeah, well, if it's in Space Jam, you know it's canon.
Myself really quick.
You fucking know it's canon if it's in Space Jam. Yeah, that is locked.
Let me fact check myself real quick.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, like any last thoughts on what you're excited about or not excited about, I guess.
Well, you guys kind of disappointed me with this talk.
Why?
I was really excited, and the girls pissed all over it.
Excuse me, Elizabeth here is championing the whole
She is
the hypest of hype.
She's making up for all of our.
Yeah, she's making up for all of our poo-poo talk.
I'm excited, and I can't wait. And August 21st, and I'm going to rewatch the entire Game of Thrones series before then, because I got nothing else.
Binge watch it in 2 weeks.
I was thinking about that too. I mean, listen, the show was phenomenal for about 6 seasons. It was just incredible. I just hope this show can deliver the moments that Game of Thrones could deliver, like Hodor,
right?
And the White Walker, the Valyrian Steel moment with Rob Snow when Rob Snow dies. These moments that you could just, the internet was just going apeshit. You could not go to work and not talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? You had to watch it Sunday night or whatever it was. Yeah. So Monday you didn't feel like you were in the dark.
There were Game of Thrones watching parties.
Yeah, I mean, people got together. So I don't know if the show will get to that level, because very few shows can accomplish that sort of pop culture just saturation. But I hope that the writing is as good. I hope they deliver. What I am excited for is some of the things that I wish they did more of was the crazy cool sword fighting and action scenes that we saw in some of the Game of Thrones. You got glimpses of it even in the flashbacks. Some of the flashbacks that they did, where that one guy comes out with 2 swords. I was like, that's what I'm here for. Super cool fucking medieval fighting. I'm in it. Where people were fucking badasses back then. So that I'm excited for. I wish there was a little bit more cool magic, but so I'm coming in cautiously optimistic.
I feel like you might get it with the whole dragons there.
I'm sure it's there.
You're probably gonna get cool magic.
You think so? I hope
they're probably just keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
I'm
there's
sure there's gonna be
little
things.
bit. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
There is. I think that there might be a red priestess later on, but it's I don't know if it's confirmed that she is in fact a red priestess. There's a little. There's some stuff. There's some weird stuff that goes on toward the later seasons. There's some weird stuff that might happen.
Like smoke monsters that come out of vaginas.
I don't know about that now.
Whoa. I mean, probably.
I don't know about smoke monsters.
We're gonna see them. So you might as well put something in there.
I didn't make that up. That happened in the show.
No.
Right?
Are you talking about Melisandre's shadow baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's talking about the shadow baby.
That was creepy.
It was a smoke monster, from Lost.
It actually was. Yeah.
It was the Lost smoke monster.
I remember that now.
Terrifying.
Yeah, the Red Wedding. I mean, God, remember the Red Wedding?
The Red Wedding was a good one, a good episode.
That was so good.
I have seen that.
That fucked me up.
Traumatizing.
Because we were actually on holiday.
I walked around dazed after that.
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
we were on holiday for 2 weeks after that came out. So it came out while we were on holiday, and we had to stop social media, everything, for a week and a half before we got home. And was like, we have it recorded. Just don't see anything. Don't see it. We're fine. And we got home, and thank God nothing was spoiled. We all just knew that everyone was talking about this episode, so we're like, someone dies. And it's such a twist. It's so twisty.
So good.
Everyone died.
Everyone died. But in the wrong place, because there were 2 weddings happening at the same time. And you were like, wait, I thought it was this wedding, but it's not. Because it was Sansa,
so good.
right?
I'm going to go
Sansa
watch it right now. Let's wrap this up so I can go watch it.
That's fair.
Jesus, PJ. PJ's never wanted to leave a show more than Trailer Talk. He loves this show.
Yeah, he does. He loves the show.
That's got shit to do, man.
He ain't got nothing to do more important than this.
Staying
this
busy,
is cool.
This was fun. This was good.
thanks Liz for joining us. This was awesome.
Yes.
I've actually like having this
thanks for having me here.
conversation. Like I don't. I feel like I'm sort of now more knowledgeable going into it to kind of enjoy it a little bit more because.
Yeah.
I feel like you need that kind of. It's so deep in lore, right? Like he's
There's
built
a lot
such
of information.
He's built such a rich world. I feel like the more you kind of go in knowing things, I feel like kind of helps you set expectations. So
Yeah.
I don't
Great.
know. That's me. Some other people are like, I go in knowing nothing, buddy.
No,
whatever.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you,
Well,
everybody.
thank you for having me.
Normally we do some recos,
been
but
a
we're
pleasure.
running really late on time.
Apologize for all the technical stuff.
The
Yeah,
technical
so
stuff.
sorry
Blame
for
it
the
on the new
technical
girl.
stuff, guys. Yeah,
All
apologies.
good. It's the internet.
It's
I
the
think-
foreign chick.
Yeah, she can't. Irish, you know, they.
I have
they got some
farmers
weird
out on a
internet.
wheel trying to generate fucking electricity
Like,
to fucking stream. So, you're
Oh, that
welcome.
explains. Okay.
Patty was slacking. It's too much Guinness. He's like,
You can listen to us as a podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, or right here on YouTube where you're watching right now. And then we'll be back here next week on Tuesdays at noon for another live show for Trailer Talk. We'll talk about another dope trailer. Maybe we'll bring Liz back. We'll just keep talking about Game of Thrones because it's awesome.
I will be
and
here
then
every time y'all talk about Game of
Should
Thrones.
start a show about it.
we should- we
Absolutely.
should
Like
do a
an
Game of-
after the game, it's a dragon
after
party.
show. Well, Liz, aren't you doing recaps for Couch Soup? Are you doing Game
I
of-
do
are
plan
you-
on doing reviews. I did recaps for Outlander, and they're
Okay.
monsters of an
They were
article to write. So I
monsters.
plan on
You
doing a
crushed that, by the
review.
way.
But if
We call it worm words.
and
worm words.
That's a terrible name.
but if
It's
you
a
guys
terrible
do
name.
like a recap,
It's a good
I
name.
will.
Wait.
I'd be happy to be part of it.
No,
Absolutely.
Would
That'd be-
love
that'd be
that.
lit.
Reviews, recaps, whatever it is going to be, Liz is going to bring it to couchsoup.com. So
Yes.
after you watch the show, check out couchsoup.com to read all about how Liz is going to break it down and give you all the goodies.
Love it.
It's
Sweet.
going to be great.
I love it.
That's awesome. And then, so PJ, Drew, Pagan's down over here maybe. I don't know. And then Stephanie. And then Liz is over. I don't know where I am on the screen.
It's okay.
Anyway,
It's fine.
you guys know where we are. We'll be here next week. And until then, we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
on
Bye.
Trailer Talk.
Have a